Alright, we're going to make a quick video on taking out, replacing the air filter. First things first, remove the trim panel off of both sides. You see he's removing trim panel from one side. We're using just a small body panel tool, nice and soft plastic, and take that trim piece right on off. Same thing other side. Alright, so once that trim is removed, there's a series of 5mm bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, down here's the 4th one on each side, and my brother is removing the 4 on that side. And then we've got, I believe, what's the number 10 bolt here, which will have to come out in order to remove this top cowling as well. Now, just to throw out a little reminder, the cowling bolts, I was showing you the 4, top to bottom, they are varying lengths, and so to keep them sorted, we just put them in some cardboard here, mark them left, right, top, and bottom, and so we'll store them that way, and we'll know exactly which one goes where. Alright, so these side bolts here are in fact 10mm, so we're going to take them out. Just like that. So the next thing we're going to do is remove the radio grills. Come right off onto the floor. Alright, so once the radio grills are off, you'll notice the screw. I can get some light. You'll notice the screw right down in there, one on each side. Alright, once those 2 screws are out, as we looked at, then that whole cowling face should come up. I think there's some plugs underneath for the mode trip switch. We'll take a look under there. Alright, so now we've got 2, again, 5mm bolts, one right down in there, one on the opposite side my brother's taking out now. And also, there are 2 Phillips screws on either side of the ignition switch. We've taken those away as well. Alright, so we need to take this little compartment loose out of here. This compartment's got some small black fasteners. Again, we used our body panel puller, a little yellow plastic tool, and we got up under here, and these little fasteners came out. Be careful, they do like to fly. Okay, so here's the whole top end of the bike. Covers basically lifted off, and so now this is what we have. As we lifted it out, we had to unplug these 2 plugs off the head unit, and we also had this plug off the headlight adjustment system. And then don't miss this one, we tried real hard to. This is the antenna off of the radio, and it all lifts off, so you now have access to the ECM. I believe this is the body control unit. Then underneath that, which is one thing we're going for, we'll find our air filter. Oh, and look at that. Also just realized that that also is loose. So we'll deal with that. There you go. Alright, so we gotta take this off. See, we got 2 plugs. I am pretty sure this is the body control module, but I can't say for sure, but let's call it that for fun. And it comes out after it's unplugged. Then unplug the 3 plugs off of the main computer, and then the main computer slips out. Alright, just to pick up on this air filter job, let me get one of these cold air intakes. You're going to find cold air intakes, this is for the other side, but you're going to find cold air intakes on both sides, and they're going to be screwed here with Phillips screwdrivers, the Phillips screws. So take those out of the way. They are pre-marked right and left. Then you'll find 4 number 10 bolts. 4 number 10 bolts. One here, one down here, 2 same place on the other side. And so that whole panel is about ready to lift off. A few things we need to deal with. This is the manifold absolute pressure switch. So we're going to unplug that. And then this is, I'm not sure if it's idle air temperature, I think, but we're going to unplug that as well. And then we're going to leave this connected at the top. So we'll go ahead and get that off and show you what's under it. All right, well, we had to remove a number of plugs. We removed the plug that was up here. It was just braced here against this part of the ignition head. And then we had to take off sensor here, map sensor here. We had to pull wires back, all these wonderful computer wires, just to make space. So hopefully we can just lift this thing and set it up top. This leaves us with the top of the airbox, and the top of the airbox has 6 Phillips head screws. One here, one up above the cold air intake, and then the same on the other side, and then maybe with luck we'll be able to see the air filter. All right, so we got this, finally got the top of the airbox off. I was wrong, it has 7 screws, not 6. There's one in the middle at the bottom. Unplug that sensor there, and we lifted it out of the hole. I mean, this thing's only got 8,600 miles, so what really do you expect? It's fairly clean, but you can see it's certainly not going to hurt it to be changed. It's got a little bit of dark covering there, so, and it just lifts straight up like any other wonderful air filter would. We need to make sure about the gasketing though. The gasket just fell down. Is that one got one on it? Does it fit in this? So we'll need to put this gasket back in here, I think. And the airbox is clean. You would hope with 8,600 miles the airbox would be clean, but hey, we didn't know, maybe a mouse had set up shop in here or something. So you can see the 2 flaps on the throttle body, and then again this thing is nice and clean. So good deal. Changing out this filter. Want to put it back together? Good luck. Just do it in reverse order, and we'll talk about it as we do it. And I think you saw we dealt with the O-ring that was underneath the air filter element, but there's actually one also on the top side. This is the housing that covers the top of the airbox, and so there's also O-ring there. Be sure you get those in there. And we've just been doing a little bit of cleanup. We want to make this thing as clean as we can as we get to all the various points of access. I think at this point we're going to go ahead and we're laying our wire bundles back up here and out of the way. And I think we're going to go ahead and start our tank removal job before we start back together with the air filter housing.